Happy Saturday. Today we're going to talk about corporations. What is a corporation? What is a partnership? And let's just do some math. Today I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly about corporations. And I will show you how to open a corporation here in the state of Florida in the United States and how much does it take to open a corporation. So let's do some math. Corporations are extremely important, especially in a capitalist system such as the United States, because what you do with a corporation is that instead of being represented by yourself, you have a business, you have an idea, and you say, you know what, I'm going to give this business an idea, a name. So it is basically like having a baby that can either make money or suck the money out of you. So let's talk about what are corporations in the financial markets. Go over first what is a corporation. So a corporation is a legal entity created under state laws, and it separates and is different from its owners and managers. So basically you're making what, like a separation. Has unlimited life. Then they're easily transferable. And then number 3, they limit your liability. So let's go over these 3 terms. The benefits of the corporation is that you have unlimited life. For example, Disney World. When Disney created Disney World, what's going to happen? When he passes away, the corporation is still alive and whatever, hopefully, it's still alive, so there's still jobs and things to do. But this is basically one of the main things about corporations, that even if the creator is no longer there, then the corporation is still alive. So that's a really good pro of having an idea and being able to say, you know what, even though I'm no longer here, this corporation is still going to have my name and it's just basically, my legacy. Benefit number 2, you can easily transfer a corporation. So when I had a Hey Math group, I created a corporation. Once a Hey Math group was in a place that I said, you know what, this is the best time to sell it and just get, the most that I can out of the business. Then once you are in that position, then you said, I'm going to sell a Hey Math group or that corporation. And it's just basically not getting rid of the baby, but giving the baby to someone that can take care of the baby and hopefully make it grow to a better baby. There are many other benefits, but the other one that you have is the limited liability. Because if you have a corporation and for any reason something happens legally, or you have the chances or the risk of getting a lawsuit, then they're going to go ahead and sue the corporation and not your personal assets. So a lot of people use this as something good because they feel like, okay, if I have a corporation and if I make a financial mistake, then my personal property is going to be protected. Because the corporation and yourself are 2 different people. And that's when, you have to really protect that baby. For the disadvantages of a corporation, you're going to have double taxation, because let's say that I am Vanessa, and then I have a corporation that sells cookies. When I have to report my taxes, not only I have to report the money that Vanessa earns, but I also have to report the money that this corporation earns. So if you think about it, you're being double taxed. So one of the disadvantages of corporations is being double taxed. The thing that corporations have is that when the corporation gets so big, so let's remember Apple, what happened to Steve Jobs. He gets the corporation really big. This baby is beautiful. People come in because he needs to have shareholders. He needs to have a board. And then what happens is that there is a point that the original creator can lose control or equity of the corporation. And this is exactly what happened to him. They fire him. And when they fire Steve Jobs, it's basically like they're taking away your baby. And this can happen sometimes when you have like hostile takeovers. And it's not uncommon in big corporations, because obviously the more money, the more greed, and it goes on and on and on. So I hope today you enjoy a lot about corporations. I hope you enjoy this little mini tutorial about corporations. I can go on this. We can talk about how corporations raise money. We can talk about how corporations are able to pay little taxes compared to people that actually are just working as employees. And there's just so much on it. And this is the beauty of economics, of finance. And I always tell, to my students, finance and economics is just basically how the world moves, and it's such a beautiful thing to understand, to always have this self-learning. So anyhow, corporations get me really excited because, I feel like they're awesome. Including the big corporations, we learn from those big animals and big savages, how they're able to create so much and then destroy so much. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have a good day.
Two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. As Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods in my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. I bought Next, and I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do.
But creating a company is almost like having a child. So it's sort of like, how do you say your child should not have food? So once you have the company, you have to feed it and nurse it and take care of it, even if it ruins you. Yeah. But there wasn't tough times in 2008. End of 2008. How did you get through that? Times? Yeah. Please wait for a second.
I really hope you guys enjoyed those videos. Very motivating. And yes, I love to listen and read about most, CEOs and what they do. They fascinate me. Even though, they say like 1 out of 5, they're psychopaths. So here I leave you with a podcast of a study that I did about CEOs and the relationship of being psychopaths. So enjoy your Sunday.